Actually, Raquel, if you turn your phone sideways, it'll be better, but that's your phone.
Okay.
Now you're upside down.
Wait. Every time I turn it.
Oh, okay.
I think her orientation might be locked.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me try to unlock it.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Try to keep doing that frame. We can post it.
Okay.
Welcome, fight fans, to the Fighters Boys Kick-Ass Podcast. Your Fight Talk Authority. Not to mention the most entertaining and talked about podcast with your kick-ass host, Richard Ortiz.
You mad? Come at me, bro.
And his loyal kick-ass co-host, Senor Cole Escovedo. Streaming live and worldwide. Coming to you all the way live from a little place somewhere in Cali. The Fighters Boys Kick-Ass Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live here on the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast, the only voice that matters, the Fighter's Voice. We got a great show for you lined up this evening. But first, I got to say hello to my co-host, the UFC veteran himself. Man, that looks pretty good there, Cole. Cole Escovedo. How we doing, Cole?
How we doing, Rich? How we doing, amigo?
We're doing good, man.
Better than last week.
Better than last week. Hey, as we get started in the show, man, I want to talk about that post he posted later on today because we can vent a little bit. But
with that Lambo?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on. Right now, I'm trying to get Raquel to get right in that frame, right in the middle. So
I'm trying to get in the frame. I'm all over the place right now. But seems like I'm a little bit better in the frame now.
There you go. We'tle take care of you.
Can you see me a little bit better?
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I can. I'm kind of off to the side, but you know. Can you see the monitor right in front of you?
No, not when I turn it sideways.
Okay, then we'll turn it the other way where you're comfortable, and we'll get you right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can turn the phone back the other way if you want to. That'll be fine. Yeah, there you go. I want to make sure the whole world gets to see exactly who you are.
So what's up, everybody?
So how's everything going, Raquel? I think we froze up a little bit right there.
I think her internet connection might not be the best.
It may not be, man. This coronavirus got everybody tripping, man. Everybody tripping. It does.
Check it to make
sure.
He said, even my internet's sick.
It is. Oh, there you go. That'll work right there, Raquel.
Ready for things to go back to normal. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can. Kind of frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay.
There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with us this evening, and I'm going to keep going, we have the WBA Interim Super Welterweight Champion, Raquel, the Purdy Beast Miller. Welcome to the Fighter's Voice, Raquel.
I can't hear you. Rich, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you. I'm talking to Raquel Miller. I'm sorry, go ahead.
She might have to go outside.
Helps a little bit better.
Outside. Yeah, there you go. Hey, don't worry. All we got is time right now with this whole coronavirus, man. So we're going to wait on you. We got you.
Yeah, dude, don't even get me started about that Lambo and that little fat kid.
No, we're going to talk about that. And in case Raquel don't know, we're going to mention it to her too.
It's like, I don't even know if I want to talk about it. I've been drinking. That's a touchy subject.
Oh, all right. Well, that's kind of the best podcast we have. Raquel, you with us now?
I don't know, man overboard, bro.
Okay. I tell you what, Raquel, why don't you log out and log back in and put the phone any way you want it. There you go. There you go. Cole, we'll talk about some things right now, and then as soon as she joins us, we'll let her have the platform. But, hey, how you doing, Cole? How's everything going, my man?
Oh, not bad. Just kind of getting into a rhythm of not having a rhythm, I guess, anymore. I've been playing poker. online, sadly. And but I've been looking at those poker apps. I
Yeah.
might end up working with one of those poker apps and like networking with all my poker players to like bring them a new tournament kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's in your blood.
But other than
You seem
that,
to be good.
well, yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I miss the brick and mortar of a casino. I just miss working with players. I miss doing all that. So it's an idea that came
There
to
you go.
me.
That's a good frame right there,
That
Cole. I know. And you know what? They may not want to think so or mention it to you, but I'm sure they miss you too. Because when they got a good, passionate, quality worker like that, you know, at the end of the day,
but other than
it is
that,
what it is.
it's been a lot of
And,
Apex. I'm not gonna lie.
well, that's okay, man. I mean, you're making it happen. That looks like some Modelo right there.
No, I'm taking it really easy. It's a Budweiser with Clamato.
Oh, okay. There you go. Cole, I mean,
Yeah.
waiting on KP there. Got a little different. Okay, there we go. That's
But
better.
how are the kittens?
Oh, they're growing. I sent you some pictures, man.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I'm not taking one. That's.
Okay, well, I just thought
I might know
you wanted.
somebody. I might know somebody soon here in a couple weeks that
I
when
think
they get
three
their
out of
place, they might
five.
be.
I think 3 out of 5, possibly 4, are already spoken for. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, the agreement is when they take them, they got to have them neutered, man. I'm gonna make sure. I don't just want them just to give them away. You know what I mean? And we gave
You
them
might
an
get
apple
stuck doing
along
it
with the bingo.
yourself.
Well, possibly, man. I mean, that's where you come in.
You
Cole.
might. As far negative. I'm not gonna neuter a cat. How am I gonna neuter a cat?
Yeah, exactly. Text number to KP that you see right here. KP, you're gonna get a number. You're gonna get a text. Oh, there we are. Raquel, you
Okay.
back with us now?
I'm back. I tried to
Okay,
see if
that
I
sounds
can
a lot better. You know
get
what? You
it
need a proper
together.
introduction. Let's go right here.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to The Fighter's Voice. With us, we have our guest, the WBA intern super welterweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Raquel, the pretty beast Miller. Welcome to The Fighter's Voice, Raquel.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. You're always one of my favorite people to interview with, so I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
You know what? It's a privilege and it's an honor. And you know what? This whole month of May belongs to all the women that have paved the way, not only in boxing or MMA, but in life. You know, because there's women out there, not just in the ring or in the cage. They're officiating, they're ring announcing, they're judging, they're making their impact, not just in the spectrum event, but worldwide. And that's what you're doing.
Thank you so much. And all of the women, of course, myself included, we just want to thank you. You know, it means a lot to us to really get that support. So thank you so much for giving us the platform.
Hey, our pleasure here at The Fighter's Voice. But you know what? Let's dive right into it, man, because I've had some questions come up and everybody asked me the same question. And if you're willing to share your platform and we could just speak freely. But before we do all that, I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to mention some names to you and let me know what comes to mind, because these are some of the women that have paved the way in the sport of boxing. What comes to mind when I mention Mia St. John?
I think that she was a pretty fighter, and she definitely, you know, had her moments. But she's not one of my favorites, but I respect any veteran.
How about the one and only Christy Martin?
She's amazing. She's one of the reasons why I put on gloves. And I was definitely inspired. Seeing her on Tyson's undercard was literally like magic. And it inspired, like, you know, a generation of women that want to be fighters too. So, you know, I tip my hat to her.
There you go. And I'm not sure if you're familiar, and she retired undefeated. She wanted to fight Mia St. John, and she defeated Mia St. John in Fresno, California. And I'm talking about Jennifer Alcorn.
I don't know Jennifer. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know Jennifer.
Yeah, was she? Oh, that's okay. Hey, she retired undefeated. She had 2 bouts to her name, and she did defeat Mia St. John. Just a couple, you know, women that are out there. I'm sure, because today we got all these women in the sport of boxing. But
yes, and look,
name,
just for the record, Lucilla Riker. I always have a problem with her first name. Is my favorite female fighter of all time. I just think that she was dope. So Riker is my favorite of all time.
Let's not forget about her. What about Ann Wolfe?
You can't. Ann Wolfe is a beast. You can't, you know, she has one of the most legendary knockouts in female boxing history. So, you know, she's a beast. You got to take your hat off to Ann Wolfe.
Oh, she is a beast. But she's a beast, but in her own right, she's not the pretty beast. So let's talk about the
True.
pretty beast. Right? And this
Yes.
is what I want to ask you. I was flooded today with questions. And everybody
Okay.
seemed to ask the same question. And I'm going to go right through it. This question is coming from Nancy Rodriguez from Supreme Boxing. She shared the same question with Lukey from ITR Boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about the beef. Everybody's talking about the beef, and we're not talking about Wendy's. Everybody's mentioning, is that beef real with Claressa Shields? Or what's going on?
Oh,
Is it to get a payday? Is it to get a
yeah.
fight? How real is
No.
it? Do you really
No.
dislike
No.
each other? Or do you guys really
No.
hang out?
No, we definitely don't hang out. The beef is definitely real. It's not internet, nonsense. To me, at the end of the day, I had really no personal issues with Shield. Shield seems like she's hating on me and jealous of me when she has all the accolades. Like, what you mad at me for? If I'm so little and I'm so insignificant, then why you always speaking on me? You know what I'm saying? Period. Like, you always worry about me. You always speaking on me, but you always trying to diminish me. But you're not going to talk about how I was the one in London helping you get ready for the games. You're not going to talk about how we had split decisions almost every time we fought in the amateurs. So it's just like, I just laugh at the bullshit. But at the end of the day, we're waiting for that fight. We're waiting for that call because talk is cheap. It's been a lot of nonsense. It's been a lot of going back and forth. But the fact of the matter is, we ain't got no contracts. The only contract that we did get officially was a debut contract. And the contract was for, I think, like $8,000 or $10,000. Like, come on now, be serious. And it really, in reality, wasn't even about Shields. I really didn't even like fighting under the Rock Nation banner. Like, I really had just a not great experience fighting under Rock Nation, and I just really didn't want to do business with them anymore. So when they offered us the debut fight, for one, it was stupid. Like, there's not no title, there's no significance to it. Like, make it make sense. And then you try to lowball me like I'm not a 4 or 5 time national champion, a silver medalist at the World Championships as an amateur. So you're not going to disrespect me and come with an $8,000, $10,000 contract like I'm some nobody that haven't put in no work. So it was just insignificant and didn't make no sense. But so now the tables are turned. I'm 10-0 as a pro. You 10-0 as a pro. It's a whole bunch of talking going on. There's only one way to settle it, and that's in the ring.
So you're more than willing to. The contract's presented and the numbers meet your value. You're ready to go.
Why not? What are we waiting on?
There you go. Now, just in case it doesn't fall through, just in case she takes another fight, who's next on
Hanna Gabriels.
Who's
It's
next
like
that you want to cross paths with?
It's only right for me and Hanna Gabriels to meet up in the ring. I heard she did an interview where she said that she'd take me as a tune-up. And all right, I'll tune your ass up. All right, what's up? We're under the same banner. We're under the same promoter. Let's make it happen. I'm your mandatory. This is Hanna Gabriels. So,
Oh, really?
I think she did an interview and she said that she would take me as a tune-up fight. I said, okay, send the contract. Let's get it. I'll tune your ass up, all right. Take me as a tune-up. Let's do it. Send the contract.
That's what I'm talking about. Cole, when you hear that, I don't want to say animosity, when you hear that business that can be taken care of in the ring, and the way it is outside, how hard is it to put two combatants in the ring together when they really want to fight? In the era we live in, it's very hard to make a fight nowadays.
Yes.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, you could have two guys that really want to fight each other or two girls that really want to fight each other. And the promoters may just say, oh, that fight doesn't make sense. It's not entertaining. And then you may have fighters that we've seen tons of times where it's like, that fight makes zero fucking sense. Yet it's entertaining as far as they're concerned. And we've seen it happen before. We end up getting a lackluster fight. So it's really just a matter of how self-marketed those two fighters are, I would say, as far as you could get any fight together, really. It just matters on how TV numbers the fight makes sense as far as the promoters are concerned. But, I mean, they offered her, what, you said like $8,000 for a debut fight?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, see, that's where they're not taking into account all your stuff. And the MMA fighters run into that all the time. They'd be like, oh, it's your debut fight, but they forget that you're like 15-0 with like an amateur record or something, but they don't count those fights. So they try to lowball them. So that sounds about right with both sports. But as far as putting two fights together, it really just depends on not how it looks on paper, but how they think it'll look on TV. Does that have the potential to be an entertaining fight? Or is it just two people jawing at each other looking for attention? Is how a promoter at least will look at it, in my experience.
Well, a lot of times, Clarissa. I mean, I'm sorry, Raquel. Did I say Clarissa? Clarissa needs to get her ass knocked out.
Yes,
Raquel. No,
true.
no. You've taken your own. Because my next question is about Clarissa Shields because I met her in Vegas and I mentioned your name and she told me, oh, talented fighter. She didn't say anything negative about you. She just said talented fighter. I met her on the undercard of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, the rematch. And well, actually, no, she was hanging out there and I mentioned your name off camera and she said talented fighter. And just left it at that.
Good for her. Look at her, giving her a little point for positivity. Isn't that great?
Well,
But I mean,
it is great.
talent can't be denied. I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be where I'm at. You know, the only reason why I haven't been able to get more substantial fight, you know, look to my promoter, not look to me. You know, because I've tried to make these fights happen. Even for the Marcela Cordejo, I've contacted her manager personally. Like, what's up? Let's fight. You know, we've had our history. We've gone back and forth. We're both in Cali. It only makes sense for us to settle in the ring. You said that I was ducking you too. So I called your manager like, hey, 360 wants to put us on the headlining card. Let's make it happen. Crickets.
That was the next question coming from Supreme Boxing from Nancy Rodriguez. She wanted to ask, how real is that beef with you and Maricela?
The reality of it is, like, beef is a really strong word. So I'll just kind of put that out there. Like, at the end of the day,
Okay.
I'm not losing no sleep over none of these girls, you know. But you know, but it's boxing, and when it comes to the boxing aspect of it, I definitely want to fight her. I definitely want to prove I'm the best. I definitely want my shot, you know. So, beef personally, no, it doesn't. It's not that serious to me. But do I really want to fight you? Do I want to knock you out? Absolutely. So do I think that we can make this fight happen? Absolutely. We're both in California. You know, we've had our history. It's only right for us to settle it. So, absolutely. Send a
That
contract.
fight.
Let's go.
Now, what about Christina Hanna?
Yes, that makes sense. I mean, that's the one thing that I feel like the promoters are really doing the women fighters a disservice. I think that there's a lot of talented fighters right now. There's a lot of good fights to be made, and I feel like the promoters are dropping the ball. Like, yes, Shields is talented. That's great. But there's also a ton of us that's out here hungry, ready to fight, and the promoters are dropping the ball. Because, like, I can fight Napoleon, I can fight Hammer, I can fight, you know, Hanna Gabriels, Cornejo. There's so many girls here that we could be fighting, and I think there'll be great fights. But, you know, here we are, and the fights
There
aren't
you
being
are.
made. So maybe the promoters can do their part so we can get in the ring, because we're definitely going to sell the tickets. I sold 20,000 of tickets in a week. So call my bluff. What's up?
There you go. I was in the middle of reading the question. It was from Jason Alexander. He said Claressa Shields needs to get knocked out, and Raquel Miller's the woman that can do it. That was the question I was asking, and I got tongue twisted in the middle of the question because I wouldn't dare call you somebody else. You know, it happens, but
No, it's
I
all
wouldn't do
love,
that.
bitch. All
I
love.
wouldn't do that
I mean,
tonight.
to be honest, like I'm really looking like we've been really ready to just go, and we've been hoping to get that fight. And it went from first me ducking the fight to me not signing a contract to me being scared to not being talented to now I have to fight somebody to get that fight. So, you know, make it make sense. But in the meantime, it's like whatever. If you don't want to give us the fight right now, you know, we've already asked for it. You said you're the GOAT. But if we can't get that fight, it's okay. Because Hanna Gabriel's on my hit list. You know, Cornejo's on my hit list. Hammer's on my hit list. So what's up? You know, whatever. Whatever it takes
Hey,
to get there, let's do it.
You're just waiting for your phone to jingle. You're
Not
there.
pretty
You're waiting.
much. Like, I mean, what else are we waiting for? Like, we put in the work. I'm 10-0. You know, I'm ready to prove it. I'm ready to put it on the line. Like, I'm not ducking nobody. I'm here. You know, call Lou DeBella. Send the contract. Hit me up. What's up?
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Cole, when you hear this, and there was a point in your career that you took your own career in your own hands. You said, you know what, I'm going to make this fight. I'm going to get myself a fight. What advice can you give Raquel Miller, man? I mean, because right now she's willing and ready to take on all comers in her division.
I mean, there's probably not much I can tell her that she's probably not already gone over herself. I mean, it's really just a matter of making fights that you know you can sell tickets for. That's really all it boils down to these days. Like I said, we've seen the UFC put on so many fights that are they're just beyond questionable matches, and you're just like, why? And they're like, oh, it'll sell, it's entertaining. Cool, sure, but I mean, the only people who manage to win on that one are the promoters, because they get all the pay-per-view buys, they get all the ticket sales, and it ends up being a really boring fight. So you got to be careful with that. It's different. You got the social media day and age. We didn't really have social media that was like super heavy when I was fighting, so it was more like word of mouth. But it's self-branding. That's what it boils down to, getting your word out there, showing them that even if it's a handful of fans that can be vocal, want to see the fight, then that's how they'll sell it, is getting
Mm-hmm.
promoters to think, oh, well, we'll sell tickets to this fight. Who cares if it makes sense in our mind? It's what we think the fans want. And once you can convince them that that's what they think the fans want, then you can get the fight. It's like a magic trick kind of thing.
Well, you know what?
So I
I'm
guess
going
I
to
need
be
to work on my magic.
It's just you just got to
well,
show promoters that, hey, people will buy tickets. Even if you got to get people to go online and petition for it, just random people start polls,
Yeah.
start
So then
Facebook
it's like,
pages about it.
yeah, I need to just do better. That's one thing that I told myself. And unfortunately, the whole coronavirus thing took over. But this year was really just about,
But
like, what's up?
that's to
Asking
your
my fans to
advantage.
say, hey, who do you guys want me to fight? Who you guys want to see
Mm.
me fight? They're like, okay, when are you going to fight Shields? I'm like, she blocked me. You go ask her yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go blow up her
Yeah,
comments
no,
and
just
tell
have
her,
just
you
go
know?
on Instagram and just say, hey, tag a fighter that you think I should fight, and just have the fans do it. And when you get one fighter that's been tagged in your comments like 35 times, like people will start to take notice that, hey, well, there's obviously somebody we want to see you fight. And then it's just a matter of like offering venues, finding venues that are close to both of you. That way you can boost ticket sales. That way you're basically doing
Mm-hmm.
the job for the promoter. And at that point, they kind of run out of things to say no for. It's like, well, look, we found you a
Exactly.
venue. We already told you we can sell it. We've got promoters. We've got fans. What's the problem? And at the point, they're like, oh, okay, fine. Once they're out of excuses, you've done all the hard work.
Exactly.
well,
So that's, I
I
guess,
tell you what, Cole. Raquel is an easy fighter to market, my man, because when and she's just being real humble right now. I just wearing a t-shirt and a hat, bro. If you go through her page, I'm not sure if she's a
thank
model.
you.
I want to call her a sex symbol. I want to call her a possible actress,
I'm not
but
any
she
of
can
those
definitely
things.
market. Look at there you go. We're showing it right now on the screen. She can definitely market herself.
Well, yeah, so
Definitely
she's
so.
got
There
an
you
image that
are.
she can easily market. That's obvious.
And I actually
Absolutely.
have
And
a
the real
lot of
trick is
support.
just it's just finding
So
those. Well, that's what you got to do. Take that support, those people all the support you have, get them to go out there, get them to be your voice, get them to go out there and be like, oh hey, why is and have them tag people on Instagram. Really, just have your fans bombard them. And what'll happen is it'll be like, oh, I'm tired of getting tagged in every single post from Raquel Miller's fans and this and that. Why are you dodging her? Why are you ducking her? Blah blah blah. And then you just have your fans berate them for you, and they will kind of get pushed into the corner of, well, I have to do something about it.
that is very true. So when you guys
Use
start
the
seeing my
social media
posts, make sure
platform
you
to your
share them.
ability.
I'm also when you start seeing my posts, make sure you share them for me too, okay? So
There
I
we
can
Oh,
go.
help
definitely.
See?
with all of them. Yes.
Definitely. Just
Thank
make sure
you.
you tag me. I'll share them. Hey, talk to us about the
Absolutely.
early days in your amateur training, your early days at world class boxing gym, at the Mission training.
So initially when I first started, I'm originally from San Francisco, and I started in San Francisco. I worked with Ben Batista originally with SFC, and that's where Kareem Mayfield and Aaron Coley, Troy King, we all kind of came up in that gym and just developed like a real family there. And I was there for about, I think, 2 or 3 years. I got to go to the Olympic trials. I got a bronze medal at the Olympic trials, made Team USA, got first place at the 152, won the nationals, went to the worlds, and then I ended up getting my new coach, Bashir Abdullah, and that's why I'm actually living in San Diego now. We've been together now for like, I want to say going on 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6 years now. But, my roots are always going to be in San Francisco.
There you go. That question came in from Lukey from ITR Boxing.
So what's up, Lukey? Lukey's a good friend of mine too. So shout out to Lukey. He's been covering my career for a long time now.
Yeah, that's good. No, he's a good dude. So tell us, what's on your mind? I mean, what exactly, how are you staying active? I know mentally you're ready to go. Physically, how are you staying active with this kind of shutdown with this coronavirus? How are you
It's
surviving
been
in your sport?
it's been a challenge, but I just feel like this is where you get innovative and you just kind of figure it out. So, you just start putting in the extra miles, you start shadow boxing, you get some weights, and you just kind of get your calisthenics in, you get your push-ups in. I got one of my strength coaches to come out here and just kind of give me a lot of workouts that I can do on my own at the park. And just the grind doesn't stop, whether it's inside the gym or it's at home or wherever it's at. I'm going to do what it needs to happen to just keep progressing. So of course it's not to my liking, but hard times don't last. Tough people do. You figure it out. So just kind of being creative with it. Hopefully, probably like next week or so, I'm going to just go and hop on live and do like a live workout with my fans and just kind of tell them to tag along and have some fun. And you don't even need no gloves or bag. You can just kind of hop in and have fun. So next week on Wednesday, I'm going to do a live workout at noon.
Actually, hey, that's a very great idea. That's a smart idea. I know Tyson Fury does it every morning, and he puts it out there. And his hours are a little different, but he's out there and he's active and he's showing everybody that he's ready. And everybody knows that you're ready. Everybody knows when they talk about Raquel Miller, they're just waiting for the opportunity that's given to you. They know you're going to cash in, and you have a lot of fans, man, just getting ready to explode with you once you propel that actual belt around your waist.
Yes, I do. And I just have to just really tell them thank you so much, because I have a lot of support that they've been supporting me now. This is my 10th year boxing, and some of the people that support me have been on this journey with me from when I first started. And, of course, I love boxing, and that's, my first love right now. But I'm actually just, I have a nonprofit organization, Ladies in Power, that I'm a part of. And I have my clothing line that I just launched again, and, just kind of relaunching it. It's Pretty Beast Athleisure. So it's just all about kind of diversifying myself and making sure that I stay ready with boxing, but then also expanding my wings and just kind of showing that the sky's the limit.
Cole, that's exactly, hey, let's put the manager promoter hat on, Cole. That's exactly what you want to hear. I mean, market yourself and market your brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you're
making it kind of easier for the manager. The more social media activity you have, the more self-branding you're doing. The less often your manager has to call you and say, hey, you can put a video out, or hey, let's just get a workout video in, or a meet and greet announcement, something. Like, as long as you're already doing that on your own, you're kind of just making your manager's job, I don't want to say obsolete, but you make managers nervous sometimes when you do that stuff, because you're doing stuff that their whole job and their whole existence is to like get you to do anyway. So if you're doing it on your own anyway, realistically, a promotions manager's job only ends up on like sponsors, like finding you people to pay you to train, basically.
Mm-hmm. And I think that that's really important for fighters now to realize that the promoters aren't going to promote you. My only help.
Correct. They'll promote the fight. That's about
really
it.
They'll promote the fight, but they're not going to promote you. And excuse me, it's all about like, developing your own brand, developing your own identity. So whereas you can get your fans and people to really kind of tag along on your journey, but don't expect them to really, promote you like you can promote yourself. Here it is, like, I've been boxing for years now, and I have a decent following. It's not even as great as what it's about to be, but I'm really thankful because I haven't got to fight on TV yet. So a lot of times people don't really get to know who you are because they haven't got to see you fight. They don't know who you are. So self-promotion is really, really big, because like, that's why they're trying to keep me off TV. Because when I get that TV, they already know it's over. I got fans now. I'm going to have fans all around the world soon. Well, as soon as I get that shot.
It's a wrap. And actually, yeah, when I first met you and spoke to you in Oakland, that was one fight that wasn't televised on HBO. And a lot of fans were disappointed, and a lot of followers, because that was supposed to be your debut. That was supposed to be your, okay, world, this is who Raquel Miller is. But you know what? Your time's going to come. Your time's going to come, and you are going to shine like the star and the champion that you are.
Yes, it's only right. It's only, you keep putting out in the universe, it's bound to come back. So I trust my vision. I trust my brand. I trust myself, and I believe in me. And I know, even if people don't know or people are in doubt, I'm going to show you guys real soon. I promise you that.
So, you know what? Let's talk about, where you go to for a vacation. Coach, she just don't go to the mountains, man. She just don't go to Disneyland. She just don't go to your average places. There you go right there. The same portrait that Mike Tyson took. She's all over the world. And you embrace your time away. Talk to us about your travel, and what it does for you to open up your mind, body, and soul.
I've been really blessed. I've been to 29 countries, and I've been the first person in my family to have a passport. And there's something that you can't learn in school or you can't learn at home. From when you travel, you become worldly. You realize how rich you are and how blessed you are. You also get to appreciate other ways of life. So for me, I always try to, every time I fight, I make sure that I buy with my fight purse, I buy a trip somewhere, because it keeps me focused, it keeps me humble, and it allows me to see that these are the fruits of my labor. So I'm always thankful. You get to just meet some amazing people, make friends everywhere, try different cultures, different foods. It's just something that really keeps you grounded. And I think that's what keeps me focused and even more humble and hungry to keep proving myself and, keep sharing the love all around the world. This is a great story. Like I'll post up and I'll post a picture and I'll say like, hey, I'm in Colombia. And I literally will have friends hit in my inbox like, hey, I'm here. I love you. Can you please, can we meet up? Even in Egypt that happened, in Colombia that happened, in Poland one time that happened. Literally, like all around the world, people will hit you up when you're somewhere and you're in their country and they say, hey, we love you. We support you. We want to meet you. So shout out to everyone that's shown me love all around the world when I travel.
Well, I'll tell you what, if all goes well this weekend, you may be traveling in the future to some island. Cole, talk to us about
Absolutely.
live combat sports that are taking place this weekend.
I wouldn't hold my breath, but UFC 249 is supposed to go down this weekend in Florida. I think Jacksonville, is where it's going to happen. Florida got the okay to open back up, and they were going to do WWE. So UFC got the green light. So Saturday, what is that? The 8th? No, the 9th. The 9th. Saturday the 9th. It's supposed to be Ferguson and Gaethje. Who else? Cejudo is going to be fighting Dominic Cruz at 135. But like I said, I'm not holding my breath. I don't know if
You
that
don't think
card's
it's going to
coming
happen?
off.
I think
I'm not a very big believer.
What
They also
about
said the
whole
Palace was going to
Dana
happen.
White? Yeah, what about Dana White and the island fighting or something like that?
Well, that'll happen, but that's just I think that's a dream project for Dana White to hold fights for fighters that fuck up and can't get out of the country or can't get in the country. He just holds it on some international island where you don't have a passport or a visa. That's fine. We don't have an extradition treaty with anyone, so it doesn't matter. We've had some
Oh,
fights
that makes
that,
sense.
like, okay, look at Lee Murray. Way back in the day, Lee Murray got implemented with like one of the biggest heists in Europe's history or something, one of the biggest bank heists or armored car robberies or something. He went to prison, so he couldn't get an extradition, right? He couldn't fight out of the country. You got guys like Khabib who were in trouble for a while after that whole scrap with Conor. He probably had his visa at risk. So if you get fighters that don't have a visa, they can't get a visa, they got a criminal record, but they're still good fighters, something happened, whatever. Why have a scrapped fight when you can have an island all Mortal Kombat style and just have international fights where it doesn't matter if they have a visa or not. They have a fight. That's all that matters. I think that'd be pretty cool, to be honest.
I think it'd be really cool, especially like given the times right now. We still want to fight. I'm even open to fighting without an audience. Long as it's televised and long as people can see it, then let's fight. Like, what are we?
Yeah, they tried that
we
in
can
Brazil.
Train. We can get in the gym. Let's go. Let's see. Let's have at it. I mean,
The only offset I see on that is they'd have to raise pay-per-view prices to offset the loss of actual live gate, which is fine. I mean, but $69.95 for a pay-per-view of a shit card, sometimes it ends up being as bad enough as it is. But I'd still be down if pay-per-view, no audience allowed was the only way to watch sporting activities. It would suck, but I'd still watch. Like, why not?
especially considering that we don't have any sports right now. So I'm just like,
Yeah, exactly.
we don't have
Why
boxing,
not?
watching all the
Be the
classic fights.
first sporting event in like how long this
People are
Saturday?
hungry for it.
Like a month and a half, 2 months?
Yes.
You know what, Cole?
Right,
I think it is going to happen. Raquel, let me tell you why Cole is skeptic. Okay, the first fight was going to go down in Lemoore, California, which is an hour and a half away from our hometown, and we're waiting, anticipating for that to happen. I think they got the shutdown that Wednesday, and they said, Dana White, it's
the
not
day
gonna
after
happen.
they announced it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. So knowing that this fight is supposed to take place around the corner, Cole's kind of skeptic, and I'm thinking it's really going to happen. I mean, how many false alarms can you have?
It's got a better chance of happening just because Florida's crazy like that. That's where all the crazy shit happens anyway. Whenever you hear some weird
is true.
story like man eats alligator on crack in the 7-Eleven or something, it turns out to be like from Florida. And you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, that was probably Regis Pro Greg, because he'll do crazy stuff like that. He doesn't care, man. He'll
But
do
I mean,
stuff
they
like
opened their
that.
beaches too, didn't they? Didn't they have like everyone from spring break show up in like Florida?
California has opened
Guess
their
who had the
beaches,
key?
too.
Guess who had the key to open it? Regis. I mean, he's that type of
No,
dude,
he
man. Lives
didn't.
life on the
Yeah,
edge.
no, he didn't.
I
No,
just
he did.
think
And then
that
some
He
people,
would.
I kind of feel like it goes both ways because some people are just
Yeah.
over this whole coronavirus. They're like, to me, it's like if you want to go outside and you want to run the risk of it, then go outside. Some countries didn't shut down and, they survived. Sweden, I don't think, shut down. And I want to say North or South Carolina, they didn't shut down. So I feel like
if
make
it
sure that
weren't
you keep the
for
elderly people inside and, people that are most at risk. But this seems excessive at this point. How long are we supposed to
it kind of
quarantine?
it kind of does seem excessive given the inflated numbers that we're seeing, given what has already been admitted by many healthcare professionals is the fact of, our hospital gets more money for every COVID case that's admitted or whatever. So given that those numbers are unarguably inflated, yeah, it's risky, but I kind of can get behind that notion of, if not that you're scared, but if you feel you're at risk, stay home. But then you're going to have those people in between. They're like, well, I don't feel I'm at risk, but I feel going out without a mask in the large public gatherings to see a movie, I'm putting myself at risk still. So you're going to have those people, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Okay, cool, stay home. But there's that gray area where it's like, what if they need to work in order to sustain their living? Like, what if they have to work, but they're just so nervous of it? It's such a gray area that I think by, what is it, early May, the months or days are just blurring together. Early May, I'd
Yes.
say by the end of May to mid-June, I think we'll have seen a forced opening. Like, I think people will just start opening back up softly, and the
I think
city's just
so.
going to be like, well, you know what? Let's not violate anyone. I mean, well, Rich, you're from this area. Look at Crazy Bernie. That dude got fined $6,000 multiple times for having curbside furniture, online orders delivered. Like, he wasn't even letting people in the showroom. He was just order it online, and I will meet you at the store curbside, and I will sell it to you. I'll give it to you. Like, and they fined him for it. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You got so many people crammed into rooms and apartments and houses right now in 1-2 bedroom apartments, and you got
Yeah.
like 6 people in there. It's like, dude, let them buy a bunk bed. What are you doing? So I think
Yeah,
people,
that's true.
that's why I'm telling you, this is what happens. Our economy will take a crash, and that will be what sets off our next civil war. People need to work. Our country has been run capitalistically. Nobody can really argue that. It's been run like a business. So when you shut down the business, like, it crashes. It goes bankrupt. The economy will crash, and we may not, I mean, we'll probably recover, but it's going to be dark, and it's going to be hard to do that. So the longer we're shut down,
Shit,
the
prices get
harder
jacked
it's going to
up, man.
be. Oh, I don't
Well,
think price.
True, and
Well,
a
yeah,
lot of
prices might go
people,
up, but
yeah,
Well, I
and
mean,
a
for
lot
your
of people
average
have been
blue collar,
affected with no
9 to
help.
5 worker, we'll say the
yeah,
workaholic
health.
that needs to get out there and work, right? But how do you
Mm.
pause or turn off a fighter? You don't. Every fighter that I spoke to, they're ready to go. They don't stop training. They got that itch. They're willing, and they're able to compete with a crowd or no crowd, just as yourself, Raquel. I spoke to numerous of fighters, and they're ready to go. I mean, the vacation's over. They're ready to go.
Especially like for fighters, if you're not at the top tier of the sport, you're not making a whole bunch of money to sustain yourself from fight to fight. So you're looking forward to these fights. And I think that it's unfair to say like, okay, we can't have any type of, this is the way, this is our living, this is how we make money. Luckily for me, I have some other stuff going on that really sustains me, but boxing is a big part of what I do. And it's like to say that we can't have any type of fights or anything until November or something of that sort, that's absurd to me.
It is, and you know what? You're not alone, and I think something is gonna materialize after this weekend's event, because you have a bunch of promoters that are not only fight fans are going to be anticipating fights finally happening. Promoters are like, okay, well, they found a loophole. Let's make this work. Let's make this happen. Especially for all the fighters that are on contract. I mean, those contracts have to be. I mean, they
and not
have to
only
be
that,
planned
our
out.
contracts have
They
been
have to be fulfilled.
extended. This is a very
Yes.
frustrating time for a lot of people. All of our contracts have been extended, because of this. And we're like, the longer it's extended, the longer we're in contracts, the less mobility
Yeah,
that you
UFC
have.
does that
So,
regularly. The UFC's been doing
know,
that for years. In fact, they've got sued over it. You get sick or you get hurt and you can't train and you can't take a fight. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we're just going to extend your contract for like 3 months while you're injured. Next thing you know, you're like 2 months into an extension. Look at Dominic Cruz. His contract's been extended so long because of all those injuries that he'll be fighting for them for at least another year and a half before he's even allowed out of contract.
Well, yeah, that knee was really bothering him, man, and he was able to recover. Raquel, where's the first place of business or your first place that you want to go as soon as these gates are open? As soon as you have that freedom, that we all have that freedom and the luxury to enjoy either our favorite restaurant, our favorite place to be, vacation. I know yours is the ring, but tell the viewers, the fans, the listeners, where does Raquel Miller want to attend? Where do you want to go?
I want to go get my nails done.
Dude, I was going to say it too.
Hey, she kept it real.
I want to get my nails done. I'm sick of this. This is why I look like
Your
this.
nails done,
Blame
your hair
Corona.
done. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sick of this. We're all sick of the nail shop. I'm going to get a facial. I'm going to get my hair done. Yeah, that's where I'm going to go. That's definitely where I'm going.
Okay, well, once you get all that done and you're ready to go, you're looking awesome as you do every day anyways. Where are you to go to relax or just to adventure and have a laugh?
I'm really looking forward to going to, I was going to go to Greece later this year, but that might not happen. So, and I also was going to go to South Africa. So depending on what their protocol is, that's going to determine if I just kind of stay local in the U.S. or if I go abroad somewhere. But if I'm here in the U.S. For my sister's birthday, we're probably going to go to the Grand Canyon. And if we can go where we want to go, we're going to go to South Africa.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, when you go
Yes.
somewhere, you really
So,
go.
It's no point in doing it halfway when you go. And I think that sometimes people think that it's harder to travel than what it is. It's not. Go on Expedia, pick a date, pick a location, and go. Book the ticket. It's like life is for living. And, I want to be known for not only just being a great boxer, but I want to be known for inspiring people. I want to be known for, all of the people, all the places that I've shown you and, explore with you to kind of encourage other people to do the same thing. You only got one life to live. Live it to, the best of your abilities. And when I die, I want to go out like, God, I used everything that you gave me. I did everything that I wanted to do. I didn't leave no stone unturned. And that's kind of how I live my life. Like, I want to challenge myself. I want to push myself. I want to go explore the world and, leave my mark.
There you go. Speaking of leaving your mark, San Diego, California. Somebody just teamed up with Team Canelo. Eddie Reynoso. We're talking about the former heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Ruiz Jr. Just signed a deal. Now he's going to be trained by Eddie Reynoso. What's your whole take on that? Teaming up with Team Canelo.
They've done really good with the Garcia guy. Didn't he team up with the Canelo team, and now he's doing Ryan Garcia. He's teamed up with them, so I think it could be a good thing. I like Canelo a lot. I think he's super talented. I think he's super cute. He has a fan to me. I think that's
why you moved to San Diego.
Man, I've been looking for his redhead ass. But really, I think it could be a good thing, and I think that with that dedication and that focus, it could be a really good thing for him.
Some Canelo lookalikes going to come knocking on her door next week. Watch. He'd be like, "What's up, girl?" And he'd be like, "Oh my God, it's Canelo."
Everybody's going to dye their hair red right now.
Dude, right?
Man, I'm like, Canelo is that dude. I got to take it off for Canelo. Canelo is that dude. So, props to Canelo.
He's quite an athlete, man. Cole, let's talk about, man. No, yes, he is. Cole, let's talk about you, man. Where are we looking to go? Where are we looking to adventure in? And because beforehand, we were getting ready to talk about, game show host. So I know that's going to materialize.
Yeah, dude.
And you had some great ideas for that. But what are you looking? Where's your serenity coming from once those doors open? Where do we start, right?
Work, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I miss doing consistent things like every day. I miss a schedule. Like I have to remind myself, like every other couple of days, I'll have to go, well, what day is it? Like I shouldn't have to do that. Like I just want some more consistency. I want to be more productive. I just don't, you know me, I'm a productive guy, but I feel like I'm not being productive. And I want to start doing something physical again, like that actually has a purpose. Who's making tea?
I'm fasting right now. My sister's making tea, so she just actually jumped up to go turn it off. But I'm actually fasting for 30 days from sun up to sundown, so no food or water for me during the day. Yeah.
But I would say,
great.
Rich, Yosemite would probably be somewhere I'd want to go when it opens up.
Yosemite.
Nice. Where are you going to go?
Yeah,
it's close.
Clean air. You know what? I'm going to, wow, good question.
He's going to Casa Corona, stop.
Yeah, possibly. You know what? I don't know. I mean, maybe Las Vegas will cover a fight. I mean, it's in my blood. I love covering big events, and maybe I don't know. Good question. You caught me off guard. I really never had anybody ask me questions. I'm always the one asking questions.
He's like the genie of Aladdin.
She is.
It's like, oh, nobody's ever
Yes.
asked me that question before.
Yes.
I don't know what I would wish for.
Yeah, I want to know, where are you going? Like, what are you gonna do? What do you miss the most about regular life?
My interaction with people. I'm a people person. Talking to people, people watching. If I can't give them anything, I'll give them a free smile, because a smile costs nothing. But just my interaction with people. I love the human race. Even when I get road rage sometimes, when they cut me off, man, I just got to collect myself and say, you know what, okay, this is why I'm here. Trying to help people, So, yeah, I miss my interaction with people.
Nice.
And,
I miss the
a
schedule.
live Corona too.
Yes. People are so stupid. I couldn't believe people stopped buying Corona beer because of the coronavirus. I thought that was so stupid.
Right? Like, how stupid
are
do you have to
that
be?
serious? Really, that was really
Well, that didn't stop in Madera. It's still here in Madera, Fresno. I mean, that's still popping off right now. But yeah, I've heard that rumor too.
Yes.
Speaking of stupid, dude, that Lambo kid.
Here we go. Let us know right now,
Dude.
bro. Tell everybody, tell the world what's going on.
Oh my God. All right, so check this out, Raquel. So this dumb fucking kid. So this 5-year-old, mom won't let him take a visit to buy a Lambo. Like, they won't buy him a Lambo. So what does he do?
He's 5, you
this
said?
5-year-old, he's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5. Decides to take the family truck and drive to California where he can buy a Lambo. Highway Patrol pulls him over, and they found it cute and funny. And I'm sitting over here going, what?
Wait a minute.
They
He knew how to
didn't-
drive a real car at 5? Damn. And he drove
I don't know how
good
well
enough
he
to,
did.
like, well, he pulled
No,
over.
I don't think he did very well, but well,
I'm like, wait
I
a
think
minute,
they
did he
pitted his
really pull
ass.
over?
But
What drove,
him
the
and the
car or that
family,
beer you're drinking?
him and that family are getting offers from people with Lamborghinis, and companies and dealerships that sell Lamborghinis are calling and flooding in to contact the kid to offer him a ride in a Lambo. I'm like, are you
That's
fucking
America for
kidding
you.
me? This kid
Yeah,
steals
yeah.
a car, and we reward him by going, hey, buddy, want to ride in a real Lambo? Dude, beat
Exactly.
that kid's ass and throw him in the closet. No, stop it.
But that's
Stop
true.
it.
I mean,
Don't really throw him in a closet, but like, that kid needs an ass whooping and a timeout. Like, seriously. And America should be ashamed of themselves for offering Lambo rides.
I agree.
Number one bullshit.
Yes.
No, it is.
I
And
agree.
Cole went off today. He shared that story
God.
more than he did the fighter's voice. I mean, that kid
because it's
went worldwide,
gross,
man.
dude.
Cole was tagging
Gross.
everybody on that.
Yeah, but that's
Gross,
almost kind
man.
of like how America, that's why it's important to travel. That's why it's important, because you go places and you see other things and you're like, the bullshit that Americans are on oftentimes make you kind of sometimes ashamed to be American. Like, get it together. That's stupid. Like, why would you even entertain that, as opposed to, tell this little boy, no, you're 5 years old. You could have killed yourself. You could have killed people. You don't do something like that.
Yep.
And then that's stupid.
Or, oh, even better. Number 2 on my most bullshit list today. Dude, was it Georgia and like Tennessee or something? Like, they're waiving physical driving tests for teenagers during the Corona shit. So you can get in the car with a license with only the written test. You don't need to show us that you could drive the car. Screw that. Just go. You did the written. That's enough. Dude,
And go
I
kill
can't
people.
wait to see their car wreck numbers just shoot through the roof. And I guarantee you, insurance companies had something to do with it, because they're like, no one's driving around because of the Corona. How do we fix this? Let's let teenagers drive around without driving tests. Fuck yeah. So I'm telling you, there's going to be all kinds of more wrecks. Insurance is going to go through the roof. Just look at DUIs. Dude, DUI numbers have shot through the roof. People are day drinking like, let's go to the Home Depot. Woo. No. Stop it.
That's kind of
Agreed.
rigged up too, though. If you ask me about those DUIs, man. I mean, sometimes you got waiters and waitresses. As soon as you leave, no, they're calling cops. That's happened before. That's a cheap ticket right there.
Well, if you're
but it is
smashed,
what it is.
yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I've seen, bartenders said, hey, you're smashed. I'm going to call you a cab. I'm grabbing your keys and what have you. But that's a whole different story. You know what?
That's
the
a better
stories and the
approach.
questions yeah, exactly. The
Yes.
stories keep coming up right now. I just had a question right now. Someone's being nosy, Raquel. Okay, here we go. Bill Connington's asking, there you go. Ask her why she's fasting for 30 days.
Okay, so my coach is a Muslim, so it is Ramadan right now, and I'm not religious,
right.
but I do believe in God, and I think that Islam is a beautiful religion, and so I decided to take part in their fast and just kind of make it my own and just kind of meditate and pray, and I also know that there's a lot of health benefits with fasting, so I just really wanted to see what it would do to my body. I was tired of being fat in the house, and what better way than to not be fat than to fast, and then just to kind of see the mental toughness and clarity that it would bring for me. So I'm that kind of person. I'll definitely try stuff. I'm open to knowledge and information. So this is my experiment. And then after this fast is over, I'm going to do a fruit and veggie fast for 7 days. So
Have you tried
yeah,
intermittent fasting yet?
I haven't. That's going to be kind of like this year is all
Terry
about
Crews
me.
swears by it.
Really? Yeah, so I can say
Yeah,
I really feel.
the dude from the Old Spice commercials.
I think
Yeah,
it's really
he
good for you. I
swears
think
by
it
it.
gives your body a break. And for me, it was just like I wanted to see the mental clarity it would bring, the health benefits. And I just wanted to see what would happen if I meditate and I fast and I pray for 30 days straight and just see my
How
mental
far in you
toughness
see
to
you're
not.
like
I'm 2
5
weeks
days in,
in.
6 days?
My mouth is
2 weeks
dry
in,
as
how do you?
hell. I want some water. I have about 30 minutes before I can break my fast. So 2 weeks in, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I have breakfast before the sun rises, and you meditate or you pray or you do whatever. I'm not, like I said, I'm not Muslim, so it's not the actual way that people that are
You're just
Islamic
following the
would do
structure.
it. But yeah, I'm just following the structure of no food or water from sun up to sundown. And for me, I just kind of like fast and I pray and I meditate and I drink a whole bunch of water before the sun comes up and have like a little breakfast. And you just go about your day, but it makes your workouts harder. And yeah, so
So what do
that's
you eat
what I've
for
been
your
doing.
breakfast? Like, do you have like Nutella? Do you have high carb level? What?
So this morning, I had avocado toast. I had sweet potato, and I make a smoothie, like a fruit smoothie. So the first thing I do is I get up, I drink some water, and I have a fruit smoothie, and it varies every day. I try to add in some like hemp seeds and chia seeds and things of that sort. Have a smoothie, and then I had some avocado toast, and I had some sweet potato. So I try to keep it as healthy as possible, and I try not to stuff myself because I think that kind of defeats the purpose. And it pretty much holds me over, and then I get a little hungry and get a little bit tired, like 5 o'clock or so. But yeah, it's
What's your
doable.
window in the morning? Do you have like an hour?
Like an hour. Like an hour. Yep. So you get up at 5, you have the sun rises at about 6 or so. So you pretty much have an hour to, get it all in before the sun comes up. And then the sun goes down at about 7:30. You can break your fast. And I usually just grab another smoothie, some water, and then have like a little bit of some food before I go to sleep.
So if you
Hey,
sleep
that
in, you're
sounds
screwed.
like a good eat, too. Smoothies?
Yeah. Yeah, I love smoothies. I make smoothies all the time. Maybe you'll see me make
Very,
a
very healthy.
smoothie business.
Very healthy.
Yeah, they're very healthy, and
Yes,
they're the
very,
best
very
way to
healthy.
consume your fruits and veggies. So, yes, so
There you
that's
go.
kind of what I have going on.
Raquel, I got a question coming in from Fresno, California. The guy's name is Joe Valero. He said, ask her if
What's
she
up,
has
Joe?
any artwork, which is tattoos. And if you don't, what's one tattoo that you would get if you decided to get one?
So I do have artwork. I have 4 tattoos, and I have
Okay.
one of them is a warrior. She's a warrior girl, and she's fighting a panther on my back, and that represents like my fight in life, where I'm fighting in the ring and I'm fighting for everything that I believe in. I have a tattoo. It's a Japanese symbol, and it says destiny, which is my destiny to be successful and just to kind of live my life full circle. And I also have one on the back of my neck, and it says to want, to need, and to have. And I'm not getting any more tattoos. And I guess if I had to get another one, I probably would get Egyptian hieroglyphic, probably something from Egyptian culture, because I just was really in love with the culture. Egypt was one of the best vacations that I've ever had, and it was just very powerful to see that in person. And I probably would get something along those lines if I got another one.
That took, okay, well, thank you, Joe Valero, for that question. That kind of took my last question. But besides Egypt, then, since you traveled all over the world, what grabbed you the most? What caught your soul? What captivated you and said, wow, I'm going to take a piece of this with me wherever I go?
There's a few places that are very, very special to me. Egypt was one of them. I went to Brazil. I went to Salvador Bahia, Brazil. I went to a couple of countries inside of Brazil, but Salvador Bahia, I would suggest anybody go there. It's a very, very special place. It's very spiritual. And it was just like the people were amazing. So Salvador Bahia was very special to me. Egypt was very special to me. And a lot of people don't know this, but I tried to go and represent Ghana at the Olympics for 2016. And, you know, I just kind of reached out to them, talked to the Ghana embassy, and just told them that I think that my ancestry derives from Ghana. They literally welcomed me with open arms, and they were going to allow me to compete for them for the Olympics and go try to qualify. But unfortunately, USA blocked it and said no, because I had fought for Team USA within 2 years, and you can't do that. You have to pick your country, and you can't kind of, you know, switch within, I think it's 2 or 3 years you can't switch. But that was really special to me. And as soon as this coronavirus thing is lifted and all that, I'm definitely going to Ghana. I'm definitely bringing a ton of, you know, gifts and supplies and love and boxing gear when I go. So I can't wait to go to Ghana.
There you go. Wow. Okay, this is a great question right here. This one just came up. This is coming from Shelly Hollis from Stockton, California.
Hi, Shelly.
He said, let Raquel, ask Raquel if she was a trainer and she had a fighter and she had to fight a Raquel Miller, how would she train her to fight Claressa Shields? Which is a crazy question, but if you think about it, now you're a trainer and you're training Raquel Miller to beat Claressa Shields. What would you work on? How would you train?
I can't give away all of my arsenals. I mean, I can't give away all the tools in my arsenal, obvious. But I would definitely say no respect. I think that people get in there with Claressa, and I think that they're scared of her before they start fighting her. And I think that it takes them away from their game plan. Like, I'm willing to die in that ring that night when that bell ring goes off. And if I got to leave it all in the ring, you know, balls to the wall, that's what has to happen. And I think that people need to, you know, believe in yourself, believe in your talent, and go in there and execute your plan. Don't allow somebody else to try to, you know, impose their will on you or intimidate you by their mouth or whatever. At the end of the day, we're both fighters. You know, we both have 2 fists, and we're going to get in this thing and we're going to bang it out and may the best person win. So that's the best I can say on that.
There you go. Thank you, Shelly Hollis, for that question. Now, I know you've heard rumors. There's been a lot of media attention. He posted a video and he made the comment, yes, I'm interested in some exhibitions. What's your whole take on Iron Mike Tyson returning to the boxing ring?
Well, obviously, I'm a big fan of Tyson. I think that he's an incredible fighter. Be quiet. Sorry, my dog is giving me the blues. I don't really care to see, I don't really want to see Tyson in the ring, honestly. I think that he's in incredible shape. I think that he looked vicious on those mitts. I posted his mitts, but I really want to see him just leave his legacy intact. I don't know if I really want to see that. Just me being honest. But I mean, if it's an exhibition and it's someone, maybe like if they do Holyfield and Tyson, I want to see something like that, you know, like, but I don't want to see him fight a really young up and coming fighter. I don't want to see that. But if it's like a Tyson Holyfield or something like that, and they're trying to settle the score, and Holyfield's mad about his ear, he can't wear his face mask and shit, I want to see that. You know, like I want to see something like that. I would be supportive of that. Yes.
There you go. Exactly. Yes. No, you're not alone on those. I mean, because we don't want to see not just anything tarnished, but we don't want to see a shell of somebody and somebody get physically hurt. But Iron Mike, he's only built one way to go forward and lay it all out in the ring. And at this point in time, he has nothing to prove. Nothing whatsoever. That's just my opinion. But in the exhibition, yes, with maybe some oversized gloves and, you know, the right opponent in front of him, absolutely. Other than that, yes. You know what? I'll look at his highlight reel.
Me too. I'll study that, and I'm okay with that. I think that he's a phenomenal human. I really enjoyed his documentaries and his show that went around the United States, and he's dope. And I wanted to say, you know, keep the brain cells that you have, you know, keep your health. You have your family, your children, do that. Focus on that. Boxing, you had that, you know, that's a past tense now. Leave it alone.
Exactly. Cole, I'm going to bring up a name that what's something similar. I'm not comparing the two, but something similar. Maybe this guy fought a little too, went on longer and kept coming back. And when you hear that, BJ Penn is one, absolutely. But I'm talking about the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. I mean, would you have taken that last fight with Tito Ortiz? Or would you just like to, if you were his manager, or would you just like to keep him with his legacy intact in those 2 victories over him?
Okay, so that's a weird one, because if I had 2 wins over a guy and they were throwing a buttload of money at me to beat up a guy I've already beat up twice, yeah, I'd probably take that fight too. Do I think Do I think anything outside of that would have been a smart decision at that time in his legacy? No. Was it a smart decision to take the risk given, like I said, you've beaten the guy twice already and they're going to pay you a bunch of money? Like, it's not really a lose-lose. It's got very little risk. Now, granted, in hindsight, he lost and we all look back going, ooh, fuck, you shouldn't have let him fight. I would have taken it, but at the same time, I was one of the people that was on the side of the fence going, no, Chuck, you probably shouldn't fight. So I don't know. It's hard. I'm not in that position.
There you go. Actually, we were supposed to interview Chuck right before the fight, but stuff wasn't really inked yet on the contract. Raquel,
yeah, they couldn't announce it, things like that.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Exactly.
I appreciate you
I want to
so
thank
much.
you for your time. I mean, coming on here
Thank
and
you.
through this whole coronavirus, and I don't want to use this and say it's only going to happen because of it. We got to know a little bit about you, not just the fighter, not just the boxer, but the woman. The woman that's walking this earth, the woman with dreams, the woman that wants to leave an impact to the youth. And I've talked to you the first time I interviewed you, and I talked to you about the impact you made on my daughter, and actually she's watching today. So what do you got to say to all the viewers and the fans and followers that watch and support Raquel Miller?
First, I just want to say thank you guys so much, because you guys keep me pushing when it's really, really hard. And most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Keep believing in your dreams, no matter how big or small they are. I know you hear that pretty frequently, but I've literally got to where I'm at right now by believing in myself. I've had so many people tell me what I couldn't accomplish and what I can't do. And I just keep proving them wrong. And I'm going to continue to keep proving them wrong. And I just have so many people that show me love, that send me messages, that just tell me, I love you. You motivate me. And that keeps me going. And if I can make it a little bit easier for anybody to kind of keep pushing for their dreams and their goals and not allowing someone or politics or just BS to stop them, then, this has been more than enough. So I know I'm going to be a world champion, God willing, but if I can just inspire people to keep pushing and believe in themselves, then I'm more than blessed. Thank you guys so much. You can follow me on Instagram at ms.Raquel Miller. I'm on Facebook under Raquel Miller. Check out my nonprofit organization. It's Ladies in Power. My clothing brand is on PB Athletics. And just more importantly, just like give love to get love. That's how I work in the universe. Everything that's for you is out here. Ask for it and go get it.
Amen to that, sister. Cole, in 10 seconds, man. Tell all your viewers and fans. See ya.
All right, guys, real quick before you leave, don't forget UFC 249 this Saturday, Gaethje versus Ferguson, and Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz. Real quick picks on that one. Fighter voice picks. I'm going to go with Gaethje. I'm going to go with Cruz on that one. I think Dominic is just too tall for Cejudo. And Gaethje, I think, is just a better striker than Ferguson. I think Ferguson is on the crazy fucking train, and he's just looking for publicity. So those are my top two picks for that one. Try to get you guys some more Fighter's Voice picks before the weekend, so stay tuned.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank
I want to thank
you guys
everybody
so
for
much.
tuning in. There you go. Of course, they all love you, and they're all supportive of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight with our guest, Raquel Miller, and our co-host, UFC veteran Cole Escobedo. We're going to continue the month of May honoring all the women. Next Tuesday, we got UFC Bellator former champion Zoila Frausto, followed by Wednesday, we have female promoter Raging Babe will be with us that Wednesday. Hey, as always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Thank you.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escobedo, the special guests, and all the crew right here at the Kick-Ass Podcast, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.